Hello everyone, welcome to another DR Sports production. We are live in the building, and before I go any further, do not adjust your sets. This is not Robbie. This is his older, better looking brother, yeah? Laurie, yeah? So remember that, yeah? But anyway, we're here today live in the building. I've got some very established guests in the building. We're here for the KSI fights. He's had one fight already against Swarmz. Well, I don't even know if I could call that a fight. But yeah, he's done the first one. Now he's moved on to the second one, and we're here to cover it. And to help me do so, we've got some guests in the building that I want to introduce you to. Starting to my left there in the blue, we got Shane of G5 Jeff TV.
Thanks for having me, man. Thanks for having me.
How are you feeling about this?
I'm good, man. I mean, well, they're throwing in the towel for Deji.
Wow.
Deji just won by stoppage. He's actually fought well today. I'm not even going to lie, he fought well.
Let me just quickly introduce the other, and then we'll talk about this. To my immediate right here, we've got Nick, boxing aficionado, used to box himself. Tell him your details, bro. Your
yeah,
YouTube
Nick J. Francis everywhere, YouTube, Instagram, Arsenal, general football, general genius. I know a lot about a lot of things, you know what I'm saying?
And we've also got a social media wizard in the house. He's also very nuanced in combat sports and boxing. Kane in the building.
I'm just here for the YouTube vibes. I can provide that.
So just before you guys come on, just before we went on here, we were watching KSI's brother, Deji. And I've got to say, man, we were saying it before we came on air. He looked very impressive, and he's just, is it a second round stoppage?
Yeah, no, third.
I think
third round stoppage
third.
against a dude called Wolf.
Fuzi, yeah.
With the moniker Wolf, and I've got to say, man, Deji looked very impressive. Nick, let's start with you. What did you think?
You've got to remember, yeah, Deji and KSI are fighting for the pride of Watford right now, blood. Do you know what I'm saying? After the L's that these men are taking recently. So it's one of them ones. It's one of them ones, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? Bruv, your boy's going to be fighting here the next couple months, bruv. Don't watch that. But no, it was a really, really good, it was a cultured performance from Deji. I didn't rate him. That's, of all the calls that predictions I made for this whole night of boxing, I couldn't have been more wrong on this one.
Well, before tonight, he was 0-2.
Yeah,
0-3 before this.
0-3.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's peak for him.
I'm not even going to lie. I've never watched a Deji fight before. I'm not used to this YouTube boxing thing, but I'll keep it 100. People were criticizing this dude. I don't know what they're criticizing. He looked real good today. Like, the way he used the southpaw stance, obviously his chin was in the air, but he was centering the dude with some real good punches. His punch selection was very good. And as you can look at I thought that was a real good performance from Deji. I think, obviously, you can tell he's got a lot to polish, but in terms of his overall skills, I mean, you can definitely tell that whoever he's working with is working on a lot of fundamentals.
Listen, I've been watching boxing all my life. I used to box before. I've got friends who are amateurs and pros. I watch a lot of boxing, like I said, and I'm watching this guy tonight. And seriously, if you hadn't have told me that he was a YouTuber, I would have thought that he was a boxer.
Facts.
Because he had good foot movement, threw some good punches. His defense at times, he tend to go back in straight lines, a chin in the air. But then that's probably because my man, what's his name?
Not for any punches, Fuzi.
He was at a distance all night. He didn't land anything. Kane, let's go with Kane. What do you think, bro?
I think even though Deji's 0-3, he's always been against kind of the better YouTube boxers.
He fought Jake Paul, wasn't it?
He's had, Jake Paul, Vinny Hacker, who was quite good, and Wasabi, who KSI was originally going to fight on this one.
So you think the record looks worse
So the
than
record
it
probably
is?
looks worse. His first one, he didn't train properly, and even KSI kind of called him an embarrassment. He was like, I don't want anything to do with this.
Bad
if you're going to do it again, step up. Yeah. And he's got better each time. I think this is one where it was all or nothing for him. He had to win this.
No, he
always has to drop a lot of weight each time, so there's a bit of a mental challenge for him, but
it's interesting you say that, because when I saw him on his way to the fight, I looked at his shape and I said to Nick and Shane here, I said, listen, man, that guy don't look like he's been training properly. Because he didn't look cut or anything like that. But that being said, his ring generalship actually looked good. And the other guy, Fuzi, who, let's face it, you can tell he's a gym merchant. He's got all the muscles and the pecs and all that. But like I always say to a lot of people, man, muscles don't win fights.
For Deji to go to the next level, the way that he's walking around now, fitness level and stuff like that, he said about dropping weight, he's got to start walking around at this type of weight.
Definitely.
He's got to start living this lifestyle properly, and then he could be able to go to the next level and the next level. Because you look at him now and think, actually, if he'd been having this level of discipline for the last couple of years, where potentially could he be if this is what he can pull out?
And he just needs to find the right weight to fight at. And I feel like a lot of people don't understand that the weight you walk around at isn't the weight you fight at.
Yeah.
You got to fight at multiple weights below so you can obviously gain that weight advantage when you're going into the ring. Obviously, someone as green, as an inexperienced as Deji, he doesn't know that yet. But for me, someone like Deji, I don't know how tall he is, but he shouldn't be fighting. What weight class was this fight? I think light heavyweight or something like that. He should be fighting at least middleweight at maximum. I mean, he's way too. There's so much more. Undersized. You can tell that if he was trimmed and actually at a proper weight class, he'd be fighting at 154 or light middleweight or middleweight.
But one thing I would say about these guys, as he's in the ring being interviewed by True Geordie there, is that myself and Nick was talking about this earlier. Although these guys are YouTubers, we also have to take into account that these guys have a lot of money behind them, have a lot of financial backing. And that means they're able to go out there and get themselves training and almost become full-time, I wouldn't say professionals, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah. They can dedicate a lot of time.
Access to the same things that professionals have.
So they're bound to improve over a period of time.
Deji's had 4 full training camps now, and I'm not sure how much KSI is involved in all of them, but sometimes he's put in the money and the resources to really help him.
Does, yeah.
But Deji's a successful YouTuber also, so you got to look at it like this. I mean, fighters, I can almost guarantee you, is not making the money that Deji's making.
No. Yeah, for sure.
So then when you look at a fighter who, they're not spending hundreds of thousands on a training camp.
They can't afford to.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I mean...
I think Fuzi's eye is messed up bad.
I'll give a shout out to Fuzi as well. He was getting beat, he was getting clocked, he kept coming forward, he kept fighting. I can't hear exactly what you're saying right now. Whatever he's saying it very passionately, but... You know what I'm saying? I give a lot of credit to him for sticking in the fight. Good
point. I mean, he came in there. I'm not sure if he's fought before, has he?
Yeah, he fought. So he's 0-1 before this. The guy he lost to last time, I think he broke his nose. He's the next fight coming up. So you'll be able to kind of see the level between them.
Yeah.
But he's kind of... Fuzi went into this, the vibe was, it was kind of just muscles and vibes and just hope that a bit of power can do something. But that is all he was. He wasn't like taking it as seriously as Deji has before.
And people need to understand that, as Laurie keeps saying, muscles doesn't mean you have power. No. It doesn't mean that you can knock someone out. Like, I've seen some really muscle-bound fighters, and just because they don't throw punches correctly, they just can't score knockouts.
Do you want to throw any names out there?
I mean, if you're alluding to Anthony Joshua's got power. But I mean, I could mention many fighters like Carlos Takam, for example. He had so much muscles, but he had no punch power.
And not only that, it's like this here in boxing. You can hit as hard as you want, but if you're not landing the punches, it doesn't mean much. And I think the problem that Fuzi had is that when he did throw a couple of nice looking shots, but he was out of distance.
Yeah.
Facts.
And my man was able to read him. And that's with Deji having his hands down and just leaning his head back.
Both these fights, KSI versus Swarmz and Deji versus Fuzi, look like 2 men that used to get bullied at school getting their own back on their bullies. I swear down. You know them ones there, coming back when they're 30.
But you know what though? I watched the Swarmz fight, and 99% of that victory was self-inflicted.
Of course.
Because in what way?
Of course.
I mean, for one, he went into that fight with the wrong mentality. Just because you come from a certain background does not mean you are entitled to win a fight.
Facts. We're laughing about muscles and vibes. Man came in with no muscles. Man came with no muscles and no vibes, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he's the opposite of Anthony Joshua. Like, no wonder he lives in flipping Greenwich.
He thought that because he comes from the streets, he's probably been in street fights. He's probably, I don't know if he's been to prison or a certain tough background that he's come from, that automatically means that you're going to intimidate or win a fight. That's not how fights are won.
Yeah, I think especially because KSI from such an opposite background, if he was going in fighting someone like a Bouncer or Arms Corleone or someone that's from a similar background to himself, he might have had more respect.
Facts.
But that lack of respect has come to bite him in the arse because,
of course.
Do you know what I'm saying? You know, he just looked atrocious in there. Do you know what I mean?
He looked terrible. And if you contrast him with Fuzi,
exactly.
I'll give Fuzi credit because when he was getting hit in there, he showed heart. He stayed in there for as long as he could. He got knocked out, genuinely knocked out, or stopped. But with my man Swarmz, he was getting hit and turning his back.
Swarmz, I think second round, he looked like he kind of just tapped out a little bit. Where he was in 2 minds of, do I carry on and just take another beating, or do I just tap out and take the money now? And Fuzi's there taking the hits with the black eye, the bleeding, and he's still trying. You can tell he's got the heart.
But Fuzi in his heart and in his body has got something to hold on to of, okay, you're clocking me, but I know I'm strong. I know I'm physically built. At the very least, I'm physically built for this. Let's keep going. I've got some intensity. Swarmz wasn't even physically built for it. He felt that first punch and didn't want any of it.
But this is the thing. I want to psychologically understand what was the mindset going into that fight.
But what? In the building, man.
As Robbie's just entered the house,
Saying
I should just say that the next fight is Faze Temper versus Slim. And then we got KSI versus Pineda, which is the
you must feel
headline fight. Kane, let me just ask you before Robbie takes over. You're from the YouTube world, from these YouTube streets. Tell us a little bit about Faze Temper and Slim.
Do you know, Faze, I don't know much about. They're part of the Faze clan. There's so many of them now. I think they're quite American as well. There's so many of them. I lose track of who's who.
Yeah, I'm the same. There's too many of them.
Slim, this is the guy who Fuzi lost to last time and broke his nose. So I'm interested to see what he's like.
Well, he beat
Fuzi, yeah. I think it was 2019. It was around then. So it's been a while for both of them. I think that's his only fight, but I could be wrong.
What does he look like? Any good? By this standard.
Trying to think back, I think he was decent. He was one of the better ones for YouTube.
He's one of those guys, Slim, that he's game. You know, like in football, you call someone game. You don't know whether or not they're tough necessarily, but they're down for a scrap. And Slim's one of those guys. He's definitely down for a scrap.
Up for anything.
Yeah.
Go on.
No, I just want to ask about. I know Deji just won, didn't he?
Yeah.
He looked
Good fight. He looked real good.
He looked good, yeah.
And I'm
really
saying
good.
that, and I don't even rate YouTube.
Genuinely good.
It was off camera.
Because
but
I remember the last time he fought, he was like, you know,
Windmilling.
But he knocked the guy out. I was coming up because obviously I've been at the game today, the Arsenal game, and I was doing interviews and that, and I was walking up, and I said, let me just bring my daughter up. Right, my daughter's 14. And I rung up and I said, this is just to show you the power of these YouTube fights, yeah? And I rung up and I go, what are you doing? She goes, oh, Dad, you're disturbing me. I said, what? I was ringing up to find out how you are. She goes, I'm watching the Deji fight. I go, the Deji fight? She goes, I'm watching the Deji fight. That's what she was doing. You know, so this YouTube thing's big, but she told me that KSI absolutely battered Swarmz.
It was one-sided, as to be ridiculous.
And
I can't believe.
what was impressive for me was like, I'm expecting to see massive flaws technically, like a massive disparity between a pro fighter and these YouTube type of fighters. And looking at it, and I've never seen Deji fight before, and I see him get a lot of criticism online. Trust me, he actually showed a lot of good fundamentals. He fought in Southpaw, and normally people get it like completely wrong fighting in Southpaw. He actually done majority of the things correct. Like literally his foot placement, his hand skills was fantastic. I'm just, obviously there's certain things that he done wrong, but he looked real good. Even, I mean, your brother was saying he looked like a Floyd Mayweather. I think he took it a bit too far.
I was exaggerating. But
No, Floyd, nothing.
Well, compared to his opponent, he did look like Floyd.
No, but what about the Swarmz ones?
That was a total mistake.
Because Swarmz here, like, I've met Swarmz before. I remember when I did my show on Channel 4, he was a guest on it. Nice guy. And he's a road guy. And I remember even in the build-up to this, he was saying, yo, man's from road and this and that.
That mean nothing.
No,
that don't mean nothing in the ring, does it?
Not at all, not at all. You can't.
In the ring, there ain't no man with no belly.
And you know what?
Furthermore,
There ain't no man with no belly, but
man's fighting in his home ground. So he's from there. He's fighting in his home ground. He should be hella comfortable. Do you know what I'm saying?
And the thing is, right, it wasn't just the fact that he lost, Robbie. It was a chastening experience because he got battered.
Battered?
And he got
Robbie,
battered.
from he took the first punch, he didn't want it. Mentally, he wasn't. He didn't want it. He didn't want it at all.
Can I ask you a question? Do you not think, if we were to watch this fight back, I thought he lost once the bell rang. The guy started running straight away.
He was trending on Twitter before the fight. Just his face. His face was like that before, like in the back. He looked like AJ before the first Ruiz fight. That same sort of. He looked proper shook.
That's the thing, you see the thing about boxing, what a lot of people don't understand. You guys know it, because you're in the, you know. Once you get into that ring, it's a tiny little ring.
Facts.
It's you and the guy.
You're alone, you're totally alone.
And I can't even imagine what it must be like you're doing it in front of such a big crowd as well.
Of course.
The nerves and all stuff like that.
Because you know the difference, you know the difference, like, even from you doing fan cams and doing all this kind of YouTube stuff, you know the difference between getting big numbers sitting in a studio and then being outside with real people.
Yeah.
Those are two very different experiences. So it's all well and good, you do your music videos in the hood and whatever, you get millions of views, cool. But when you're there live and direct, and lots of these people are going to be KSI fans as well, and these men are getting onto you, Do you know what I mean? Like you're going to feel very differently about it. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, but to get battered.
No, he got battered.
He got. You know what I would say?
To know that the man's going to fight another fight later on.
He didn't land a punch.
No, he didn't land a punch.
I had no expectations for him and still feel embarrassed for him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
He thought he would at least.
No, he didn't.
He was
put up a
swinging
fight.
handbags.
He didn't put up a fight.
And in fact, not only did he do nothing, he also committed what we all would say is the cardinal sort of things that he clearly didn't want it. He was turning his back. He was warned by the referee on at least 3 occasions to stop turning his back.
I thought he was going to get DQ'd.
First minute.
I thought he was going to get disqualified for turning his back. Like every time KSI walked towards him, he just went like that.
Because turning your back is a sign of surrender. In boxing parlance, turning your back is a sign of.
His dad must have braids when he used to beat him or something. I don't know what it is.
On one occasion, he turned his back. KSI hit him, and then he's complained to the ref.
Yeah, he hit me on the back of the head.
I'm like, bro, that's because you're turning your back. The guy's got no option.
And they got some gal in this crowd, bro. What's going on? Nah, real talk, bro. What's going on? I'm seeing all the man them look like nerds, and all the gal are crisp. I have to get a ticket.
So that's Slim.
Yeah, that's
What
Slim.
are we saying? Next fight we're going together.
We'll roll through, bro. 100%.
So Kane, give us a little history about Slim. Where's he from? What's his background?
Jeff, I've got no idea for Slim.
Oh, really?
I know he's fighting
Slim's,
with Fuzi, but that...
It's not Slim Shady.
He's a YouTuber, isn't
Yeah, they're all YouTubers.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
wondered what's his background.
he? Gamers, I think he's like. No,
okay.
Slim. No, Slim's a vlogger. Faze a gamer.
What's the fan
I
saying?
think they're both American, aren't they?
You know what? Our technical staff may be able to help, but the comments are not coming through.
I was
So we've
wondering.
got a technical issue.
I'm
at the
pretty
moment.
sure. I'm pretty sure they're going to have a lot of opinions regarding.
Actually, this might be a good time for Robbie to take over. Actually,
because I'm pretty sure that a lot of fans are going to have something to say about Deji because that was an impressive
I
performance.
liked him.
But a lot of fans were criticising him before, so
I
that's
think
how
you know what? The last fight Deji had, he got beat, and he didn't look great.
a lot of these fans are going to have to eat humble pie today. So I want to see what
I'm
they
one-
say.
I'm
This
one of them, to be fair.
guy,
That was
this
a good
guy's
fight.
slim. He looks very confident.
Yeah.
I'll give him that. The way he's swaggering himself to the ring.
He's used a lot of energy to get there, so if he loses, that might be...
Was he doing
serious.
that with the Rocky? What's it? Apollo Creed when he done that long Rocky dance to the ring and got knocked out.
It's
always
either an act or he really is that
I
confident.
was always thinking back to Anthony Yard doing it in Russia. He danced all the way along the ring to when he fought Kovalev and then got knocked out.
But I will say Slim though.
But to be fair to Anthony Yard, he did do very well in that fight. In fact, he was within seconds of becoming world champion.
But we can't. We don't know that. We've had this. We're not going to do this again. We've had this argument like 4 times. Every time I see
came close to stopping.
you can't
Kovalev,
say
bro.
within seconds. This is football and boxing are the same in the terms of they're a results business. Do you know what I'm saying? You can't.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? So he didn't win. He lost, and
Yes.
that's. Do you know what I mean? So
That
you
much
Here
is
comes
true.
Faze.
you don't know for sure
Here
he was
comes
within
Faze,
seconds.
man. He's looking
His
serious.
energy is the complete opposite.
Complete opposite.
Do you know Slim?
Coming for business.
He's got real good dimensions though. Look like he got some real long
You
arms.
look like you want to sign him up.
Maybe I don't know. I ain't got a lot of money, so
You know what it is? The difficulty with this YouTube stuff is when people do YouTube, they put on a persona. So you don't know when someone's coming in looking calm. You don't really know, are they genuinely calm or is it a persona or, and this, do you know what I mean? Like, is it the opposite of what they're normally like on camera? It's
That's a
really
very good
difficult
point,
to
but
read.
You know what it is? In boxing, they always tell you to disguise your emotions.
Yeah, of course.
So a lot of the time, you see guys carrying on like this.
I'm
Probably
trying-
is an act.
I'm trying to see if I can get the comments on my phone because something's not.
So
quite
is he
there.
Brazilian, this guy?
No, he's American, eh?
He's got the Brazilian
I think he's
flag.
got Brazilian
Heritage. Yeah.
But this is the fight.
It's a big
The-
fighting
these are, I
country.
think these
They
two
like
are
their-
quite big in America, so this is kind of the fight for the North American fans.
But Brazilians, they love their combat sports, man.
Yeah.
So they do turn out some very good fighters.
So the Mexicans, so we'll see what happens with,
Yeah, but as we were saying before,
I
they
don't-
turn out a lot of fighters, not all of them are good.
But I don't know why. Again, KSI is getting criticised for picking the fight he picked. I think he's allowed to pick a journeyman.
No,
I mean,
but
he's not a
yeah,
pro.
you're right. But if you're charging people to come and watch, it should have some semblance of competition.
Well, but the Swarmz fight, when I first saw it, I was like, all right, that's an interesting one because, you know.
but you've bought into the character and the persona of the
Yeah,
logo more than necessarily. Do you see what I'm
No,
saying?
but then
Like-
KSI is not a fighter, is he?
KSI's initial fight wasn't a
KSI's
pro, it was Alex Wasabi, who's a YouTuber.
Yeah.
So Swarmz just kind of came in as that equal, because this
Yeah.
is just his warm-up fight to get to Jake Paul.
But what does it take to be what does that mean
But
he's not a fighter? Do you know what I mean? Because if this guy's a multi-millionaire and he's got thousands, hundreds of thousands to spend on the best training, the best diet, the best nutrition, at what point do you switch to actually...
When you fight a real fighter, when you fight a real fighter, you're a fighter.
So if he beats this guy today, this guy today...
I would class him as a real fighter.
Okay.
100%. Because you want to know what? Real fighters have journeymen. You go into any fighter in history,
that's only partially true, Shane. I gave the example earlier, myself and Nick, when...
It's working?
I gave the example as an antidote to what you just said. Freddie Flintoff, cricketer. Do you remember him?
Yeah.
About 10 years, maybe more. He fought a professional. They just dug up some dead body from America. He was a professional.
Yeah.
They flew him over. And Freddie Flintoff came off the cricket pitch.
Lords to the ring, I remember
Came off the cricket pitch, came off fighting depression and beat this guy easily. Okay, I think he got dropped with one shot. But other than that, he won easily. I mean, come on. And then he retired again, having beaten a professional boxer. He's not... Freddie Flintoff will even tell you himself, it was just a one-off thing.
Our fighters not allowed...
Look at the face-off. Sorry to cut you there, right? I want to find out from you guys, who do you think is going to win this fight? Not to you guys, because you guys are saying that you don't really know them much. But to you guys out there, who do you think is going to take this one? Is it going to be Slim or Faze? They're about to... Here they come. And he rushes right out at him, doesn't he?
Yeah. I mean, you're going to expect this from Slim because he's the one with the boxing experience, allegedly. So... You're going to expect him to be more confident.
He's quick, but he's using way too much movement, unnecessary movement.
That's what I call nervous energy.
Yeah, the twitchiness in the movements is
Talk
not...
Trend says Slim by a KO. Hassan says Slim. Aaron says Slim. Matrix 484 says Faze. Faze win says K1. That guy 123 says Faze Temper should win.
The predictions are on 50-50 at the moment as
somebody
well.
who don't know what he's doing. When he comes under attack, they either turn that way or duck their head.
Mm.
I like that. I like it. Oh, that was a big punch there by Slim.
And that was timed well as well.
Big punch by Slim.
That's class.
Oh, and again, he caught him again.
Both these guys look to be in quite good shape. And so it's given it's only 4 rounds. It
Their
should
stances
be
are like, I mean, they've got good boxing
should be quite an action-packed fight. There's going to be a lot of punches thrown here.
And I've got good punches back there. This is a decent fight.
But you see the fact, when they're swinging, both of their chins up in the sky, like they're looking at the clouds. They need to get that chin down.
Yeah, he's got the chin down.
He's got to keep his head up.
Definitely Slim.
Slim's doing a lot of the mind games, isn't he? He's trying to throw his man off and stuff. He's trying to...
Yeah, he's coming.
This guy's coming with like a poor man Prince Nassim type of stuff.
He knows he's not an amazing boxer, so he's going to just do this to throw him off.
Do you remember when Floyd fought Conor McGregor? I was watching that fight again the other day, actually, for my sins. And what Floyd did, which was very clever, he knew that Conor McGregor had a lot of nervous energy, he was going to want to start fast.
Oh, so another good punch there.
So basically what Floyd did, he just showed up like that, took all the punches on the arms, and after about 3 rounds, Conor
let him
McGregor
burn himself out.
Yeah.
Well, that was good defense.
Oh, that's
by
great.
Faze Temper.
Oh, he's getting caught on the inside.
Oh, and that's good by Faze Temper.
His nose is bust.
He's bleeding.
Neither of them have much defence. They're just swinging.
That's good. There's no defence.
Block it, but with your own swing.
Yeah, for sure.
I wish these fights were more than 4 rounds, though. It might encourage them to actually box a bit.
I'll tell you what, that guy is Slim. He's got such long arms.
Did I not say that he's got long
4 rounds means they're more likely to go for a knockout because there's not a lot of fighting to do. So they're going to have to they're going to have to push the action.
Like for an entertainment.
KSI got called out because both of his are 3 rounds because he's fighting 2 at once. So Jake Paul's giving him something for that, and a few people are getting on his back.
I mean,
but supposedly he shouldn't really need more than 3 rounds.
But they seem
not for that.
You see this. This is after you have that flurry and you get the air in your lungs and you realise how tired you are and you think, actually let's slow this pace down a little bit.
Is that Marvin Hagler?
They call that nervous energy. You know, when you're all pent up and then you just want to let your
they're swinging. The arms are swinging. This
could go either way, whichever one of these guys connects.
Slim there again.
The only YouTube fight I've ever seen, in any YouTube fight I've seen that actually does things very slow paced and calm, was when Rance fought. That was the only person I've ever seen who was calm.
Oh yeah,
Rance a proper boxer.
I'll tell you what, Deji looked good today.
He looked good today as well. He looked real good today.
Yeah,
round 1. Who won that round, guys?
Fight Deji. I'll give it to Slim.
I'll give that to Slim as well.
Yeah, he landed some good shots, but he did get caught at the end though.
I'd give it to him, but only on work rate.
No, I think the work rate was similar, but I just think he caught him slightly more times. None of the work was clean. I don't want to say the cleaner work, but maybe the slightly better work. And I think he wins that round, but probably mostly off luck, to be honest with you.
Yeah, 55% of you are going for Slim to win.
I'll give it to him, but work.
45% Faze Temper. But Slim,
But Faze did have his moment.
Bang. That was the moment. And the thing is, if he doesn't need the nervous energy frantically throwing punches,
big punch.
you can
That
see
busts
from
his
that.
nose.
You can see from that he can time it. If he just calms down a little bit and works on his timing consistently, he can win the fight.
And what's so easy for him is the fact that his arms are so long, he doesn't even have to be completely in range.
There's David Hay there.
Yeah.
David Hay with his son wearing an Arsenal top. See that?
I mean, if there was going to be any professional boxer at this event, you knew it was going to be David Hay.
Him and Eubank.
He absolutely, and Eubank, yeah. They love it. They absolutely love it, don't they?
A man who once described by Tony Belly as being, he would be at the opening of an envelope.
I remember that, yeah. He loves it.
But David Hay was a class fighter.
Definitely.
For a period of time.
Yeah.
He was one of our best fighters we produced in this country.
Define one of. What, top 10, top 15, top...
In recent times, he's got to be in the top 15.
In recent, I'll give you in recent
Two-time
times.
world champion.
Slim there. He's giving all the showboating.
This is the thing is with these guys, because they're not professional boxers, they're not building towards a title fight or anything like that. So they're leaving it sort of all in the ring. That's what makes it kind of exciting.
And it's a matter of entertainment as well. Another Southpaw Orthodox mix in this fight as well.
Going back to David Hay, Nick, you have to remember that you see what Usyk's doing now. David Hay did that.
Yeah, no,
I don't know about that.
Champion. Yes, he
He
did.
was unified, not undisputed.
Okay, but he went on to win the heavyweight title as well.
Not against Valuev.
But someone had to beat him.
He lost to Evander Holyfield, and Evander Holyfield was 76 at the time.
Listen, Holyfield didn't win.
Slim again with a good punch. He's swinging.
Slim's making this fight, I think, probably harder for himself than needs to. Yeah. And a lot of it's ego. He wants to win in a showy way. If he boxed sensibly,
they're both tired out already now.
Yeah.
He's still trying to go for the big knockout.
See.
If he slowed down and just behaved himself, he could probably win the fight.
Everything's right hand with him.
Yeah.
But he landed though. It landed again.
Do you not see the Prince Nassim anymore? Or is it just me?
No. You definitely see it.
Got the Prince Nassim in him.
As a man that's Asian, I take that personally. Do you know what I mean? I take that offensively.
He's definitely got the Nassim in him, man.
You're doing that whole
same sort of stance.
I don't want him to hear it, bruv, because you don't need the confidence boost. Do you know what I mean? There you go. Time that shot.
Oh, that was a good shot.
That's on the shoulder, but it still seemed to hurt.
I think he wanted to come out and do it in the first round.
I think so as well. You can see
And
that.
you
He's got no plan now. He's just
Slim is going to win rounds just off kidology, just off the bravado that he's doing as well.
I agree with that for sure.
Oh, got again! And now Slim's going in for the kill. Knocked him out cold! That's it!
Great punch.
That's a great punch. He ain't getting up from that. Fight over.
Yeah, it's over.
Fight over.
Massive.
And that was a brilliant punch.
Massive props.
And I'll tell you what, Slim looked good there.
I'm not going to cap. I am not going to cap. That is actually
that was great. But look at Logan Paul's there like, thank God I wasn't in there. Thank God I wasn't in that fight.
That was impressive.
If a pro threw that punch and knocked him out, I would be impressed with that.
You know what? The fights are getting better and better. I really like the order.
That was impressive,
I really like the order of that card, because fair play to Faze Temper for getting up on the 8 count. And a lot of people don't understand the boxing rules.
He wanted to carry on.
A lot of people don't understand the boxing rules, that you can get up on 8, but you still counts as a TKO if you're not responding and all the rest of it. But
facts. And
fair play.
Is it going to be a case of Swarmz is the only one who has to hold his head in shame?
I think Swarmz has put in the worst performance
that was a good
so far.
fight.
That was a real good fight.
That's a good fight.
Swarmz has put in the worst performance on the card so far tonight.
I don't think you can get a worse performance.
I mean,
you can see these.
There was that fella that the bell rang. Do you remember his promoters didn't pay him?
Right, yeah.
The bell rang and he walked out.
They're showing the replay again. That was a big shot there by Slim. Then came through.
He had the killer instinct.
Really good combination.
Yeah,
finished it off. And that was a big shot.
Once he rocked him,
not face down, and there was no getting up. Wicked
Look
right
how
hand.
timed that was perfect.
And again.
Timed. That was a bit.
One on the forehead.
That wasn't that great.
These are big punches.
It's decent defense here, covering up. But the moment he peaks, Slim just stays on top of him. And as soon as he peaks,
that's the one. You can see
his eyes went.
Yeah.
And you know what?
It wasn't bad defense, but as soon as he peeked out, Slim just stayed on top of it, stayed in the kitchen, as they say. And as soon as he peeked out, that was it.
Great shot. Saddam Ali, American professional boxer, trained Slim for 3 years ago.
There you go.
Yeah, he's in the corner. Saddam Ali's a former world champion.
Former world champion.
You can see
he beat Cottle.
Yeah, he did.
Cottle.
Like I said, Slim is game. He's game for a scrap.
I can see how Fuzi broke his nose against him.
Yeah.
Look
at Geordie's reaction.
Natural power as well.
Geordie loves it.
Because that punch wasn't even thrown that correct, and he still knocked him out so clean.
The guy on the left here looks like he's like in hiding with the CIA or something.
Isn't that John O'Carroll? John O'Carroll?
Which means that
Hitman,
the one on the far left, that looked like
John
O'Carroll.
Which
Was
means
it? It looked like General Power to me.
Hitman's probably from Yemen then, isn't he? Because Saddam Ali
Yeah,
is from
yeah.
same place as Nazim.
Joe
So-
says, Robbie, what do you think of Scott Quigg, the boxer from Bury? Is he still fighting Scott Quigg?
No.
He was a good fighter, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
He was.
Former world champion.
Yeah, he was a good fighter.
Why did he ask about, is he involved?
I don't know. He just says, Robbie, what do you think of Scott Quigg?
Yeah, he's a good
I know he's a
fighter.
He was a good fighter. I remember
Tough.
he was all action.
Yeah, and
Tough
Carl
guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Logan's trying to make friends with Slim now, thinking, I don't want to fight you.
Logan kind of gave that look of I was going to call you out.
Yeah,
but now I've seen that.
He looked- his reaction
It
was
doesn't
like,
matter
yeah.
what any YouTube boxer will never achieve what Logan Paul achieved. He fought Floyd. He fought the GOAT. So he's already cemented. He fought the GOAT. There's nobody ever that's going to be
Floyd
able
got to the top and just tapped out and was like, I'm done, you lot carry on.
Literally.
I mean, he fought into like his 40s, to be fair.
But
fought for a
Logan
very long
Paul
time.
fought him. Can you imagine, like, you
In an
fought the
exhibition,
greatest
though.
fighter?
Just imagine like 10 years ago saying that.
It matters a little bit. It's like me playing with Henri in a 5-a-side game.
But-
It's not the same as playing 11-a-side.
But would you not? It's something to tell your children.
No, of course, 100%. But these guys carry it around with them like, you know.
I would be proud of that. I'm not even going to
Yeah, but I know
Yeah,
people
for
that
sure.
played like a cage football with Kaka like 5 years ago and
they're
they
still
still talk
going
about
about
it
it,
all the time. So it's one of those things.
I mean, I don't blame them.
See another example of the muscled guy getting licks. Look.
Look at Kalasau then. At the back.
Yeah.
He even
Nice
gets a
jacket.
belt. The amount of belts.
See,
he
this is
got
what we were saying earlier, Nick. There's an avenue, a lane for these guys now, isn't it?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Facts.
Yeah,
To just fight each other and become the YouTube champion or whatever.
At the
I
moment,
think
you
these
get,
guys
you
were
get a
calling
weird
for you to
mix
fight
where
expressions earlier. I think that's what they were calling for.
That'd be light work, man.
I'm not even going to lie.
Even at my
I actually
age.
think you would win still.
Even at my age, man, that'd be light work.
But when
Expression.
Expression's supposed to fight my man?
Saeed.
Expression's
Yeah.
first fight, Saeed, like, he never came of nothing. You know what I mean?
And I know for a fact because Saeed asked me to train him for that. So I know he was taking it seriously.
Really?
Yeah.
But you know what? Like you saw earlier on with the Swarmz fight, everybody thinks they can fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, you guys know.
Facts.
Well, it's like football, isn't it? Everyone thinks they can play
Everyone
football.
thinks they can play football.
I mean,
can't.
if you were, in your opinion, Robbie, if you had to pick one person from AFTV to fight, two people from AFTV to fight, what fight would you make?
They had to fight someone.
No,
Each other.
Within AFTV, who would the two people you put together to fight each
To
other?
fight each other.
What, Ty versus who? This has to be Ty.
Ty.
It has to be Ty.
Can't be tough.
Ty's got no coordination.
Trying to get killed by everyone.
Or any cognitive. I'll tell you,
Ty.
you know what? I was saying to Nick earlier, right, that, and I really do believe this, if you, Cecil, I'm not sure about his fighting heart, but he has the athleticism.
And the
That
dimensions.
if you, like these guys have done, if you got him a coach, gave him 6 months with his athleticism and his natural fitness,
And if you had
his
me in the
agility,
corner,
he could do all right. The only problem is, what would he be like if he gets hit? Because some people, when they
That's
get
the
hit,
thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's all right looking
But in
good.
terms of his athleticism and his fitness and his agility, I mean, Van can do standing backflips.
You wouldn't want to mess up his makeup, though. That's the thing.
Trying to figure out who would be a good fight amongst the AFTV.
Kelechi versus...
Turkish.
Yeah, that'd be a good fight.
yeah.
Kelechi
Nigeria
versus
versus Turkey.
Yeah,
That's mad.
Kelechi versus
A
Turkey.
World Cup quarter final.
Yeah, I'll pay to see that.
Don't
Kelechi
forget
with them big hands.
There's Saddam Ali there in the truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Robbie, if you had to fight someone in the YouTube scene, who are you fighting?
If I had to fight
Call
someone
him, just call him out right now.
in the YouTube... No, because I ain't doing no fight. You know what I mean? Everyone's always trying to get me to call out different men
But
to
you know what?
fight.
I saw you on the
I'm
heavy.
too old for that.
I saw you on the heavy bag. You throw punches, correct? Did you
Yeah,
fight before?
I used to do boxing once upon a time. But
you still got
I
it, man.
ain't doing no fight because, you know what I mean? I'm too old for that. Man.
I
You know
hear
what I
you.
mean? AJ versus Robbie. Yeah, he's trying to get me killed, right?
If you put on a Ukrainian flag around your shoulders, I reckon you beat him.
Actually, people were one time trying to say to me, me versus Geordie.
That's not
They
fair.
were saying,
That's not fair because Geordie's got what, 30 years younger than you or something like that.
hey, steady on.
I don't know how old.
But he's younger than me, yeah.
But like I said, what you have to remember, like for this guy, he's got Saddam Ali in his corner. Now, Saddam Ali was a top amateur, represented America in the Olympics.
And he's a top pro.
Top pro, beat Miguel Cotto to win a world title.
And then he just.
Oh, you know what? I'll take this one. Hugo Bossman says Robbie versus Simon Jordan. Nah, that I'll take. I would.
I would put the bank on you to win as well. I would put the bank on you.
And if you didn't take that, let me take your place. I'd love nothing.
He would just try and talk you. He'd talk you to death.
There's some very good ones coming through, actually.
And you definitely won't win the press conference, though.
Ty versus Mope, right? Ty versus Julian. Kelechi versus Belgium.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Robbie versus Goldbridge. Turkish versus the Cronkies.
Turkey versus Josh Kroenke.
I picked Laurie to beat everyone, though. Laurie beats everyone.
No, Laurie couldn't. But Laurie's a boxer, isn't it?
He's a bit long in the tooth.
Like I said, if you trained up, I reckon if you trained up Cecil, I don't know what he'd be like getting hit because he's a pretty boy, isn't he? So he probably wouldn't want to.
One hit and he's gone.
Yeah. But then you don't know. Sometimes these guys, they, you know.
It's like football, though. You move enough, you don't get hit. You know what I mean? You stay pretty.
What do you guys?
But hold on, let me just break it down now, right? Because I know you guys, you three in particular, are your boxing connoisseurs. What do you really think of this stuff? Like, come on, be real. Now.
Personally,
right? YouTubers, look at the crowd there. Pay-per-view, even as I told you, my daughter, who don't even watch boxing, is telling me that, Dad, why are you disturbing me? I'm watching Deji fight. Right? I mean, and then you got boxers, like what we saw last week. You know what I mean? You saw how much
they put into it.
You know, like with AJ. The meltdown he had at the end of the fight was because of he's put everything in to that fight, right? Mm-hmm. And has lost it. And that was the reason for that meltdown, wasn't it? Of course. So do you think that these guys, the YouTubers, are making a mockery of it?
I've got mixed feelings.
Or do you think that it's a good thing and that they can convert like people like my daughter into actual fight fans?
But with respect, I don't think your daughter's going to get converted into boxing by watching those guys. I think I've got mixed feelings. Like at first when I saw these men, I was almost offended thinking that who are these guys thinking they're boxers? But let's face it, they're here to stay. What I would say about them, I'll be very quick. Stay in your lane. If you do this and you've got your own little nuance thing going on, okay, it's not really my thing, but hey, all power to you, good luck to you, you're entrepreneurs. Yeah. But when they start doing what Jake Paul's doing, trying to call out real professionals, trying to get them to drop weight and stuff like that, I just find it very disrespectful, to be honest.
I feel like the narrative that is pushed by a lot of these boxing promoters or these people that are putting on these fights, that it's going to bring new eyes to real boxing is just a lie. Because there's a fight on today, me and Laurie was talking about earlier today. No YouTube boxing fan is going to watch it. No YouTube media, no boxing media, has covered that fight this week. There's a fight, Petraza versus Comey. No YouTube media for boxing has gone to that fight. Yep. They've all gone to this fight. So to me, I feel like it's unfair because people who are within the media who cover boxing day in, day out, it's almost like selling yourself to the highest bidder, and you're not staying true to the actual fight game. And I don't really have a problem with the people like Logan Paul's, Jake Paul's, KSI. They're just trying to make money, and I respect it. I don't like the media who leave the real boxing to the traditional boxing for these fights. You know, because these guys don't need your media attention. They already got big platforms. You got two fighters who are real fighters who's got no media coverage.
I mean, look at the crowd there. That's absolutely sold out.
Exactly.
And you know what the sad thing about it is? Sorry to interrupt. I'll be very quick.
No.
The sad thing about sometimes you'll get world champions, you know, boxing on these guys undercards.
Facts.
Billy Joe Saunders to name but
Devin
one.
Haney.
Yeah. Fighting on these guys, it's embarrassing, bro. So that's what I'm saying. Just let them stay in their lane. And you know, but hey, I don't want to.
I would say two things. One, I think that this is inevitable because boxing popularity goes up and down, and these guys are big characters, big platforms, etc., etc., etc. And when boxing popularity goes up or goes down, it's because somebody comes along who is generally handsome, charismatic, funny, and they bring people into the sport, and that's what these guys try and do as well. So I think it was inevitable when I said about Anthony Yard, Chris Eubank Jr., guys that aren't elite boxers but they have an aesthetic. They probably make more money from sports and Instagram deals than they make from actual boxing. Do you know what I mean? So where's their priority? Is it about staying in shape and looking aesthetic? Even about Anthony Joshua, is his main priority getting those modelling deals and those contracts over there, or is it about the boxing? Because we still haven't seen him drop a lot of weight and change his body type. But I think it was completely inevitable. And And I also, the second point I would make is that it's a different sport entirely. You know, this to professional boxing is like five-a-side football to Premier League football.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? It's an entirely different sport.
But it's generating the same. It's generating.
Of course, there's a crossover.
2020 cricket.
Different where I'll watch boxing as a more of a casual fan. I'm more UFC. So the YouTube boxing I've got really into. At first I wasn't sure. I've really enjoyed it. I think there's a few events. The celebrity MMA has been a big thing where the events have been run awfully. It hasn't gone down well. You kind of just push that to one side. If it's done properly, kind of like today, the bigger ones, I think there's a lot that boxing can take from it. So I don't think if you're selling out the O2, I don't think you can blame them for doing it. I think boxing then has to adapt and not completely change it, but take a few bits from why is this working and how can we take that.
Sorry, we're back. We're back. We had a little slight audio problem. He's making a great point there, Kane. If you continue on that.
There's a guy called Vidal Riley who was KSI's trainer. So he was a pro boxer before. He hadn't had many fights, but no one had really heard of him before that wasn't like a hardcore boxing fan. From him being involved with KSI, just training him, and then having a bit of a YouTube kind of persona alongside KSI, a lot of people will now know who he is. And for myself, if Vidal Riley is fighting, I'll watch it, guaranteed. And he's like a professional who's kind of taken into the YouTube scene and used it for his own gain. And that's kind of built him a new fan base.
Yeah.
And he's done really well from it. And he's kind of going to go...
Sky deal.
Do you know I was going to... What? I remember when KSI and that done their first fight. And at that time, it caused a big controversy. There's a lot of the boxing fraternity really angry, saying, "No, this is ridiculous. I'm not even going to watch it. It's a joke." Blah blah blah. And then they pulled it off. Massive pay-per-view, massive crowds. And now you see, look, we can even see Eubank Jr. at the fight, and you know these guys.
I'll talk about him in a minute.
Now,
talk about him.
what I'd say, the less. A lot of times, right, you have to learn lessons. Right now, boxing. I remember I spoke about this last week when we was doing the AJ fight. That one of the problems with boxing is that it's run by promoters. Yeah. And you guys are even telling me about how the promoter can pick the ref and pick the this and pick the that. And that's now, that problem now is now why you see guys able to do this, because all they're doing is promoting a fight. The same thing that Frank Warren does, Eddie Hearn does. They're promoting a fight. Yeah. They've got big audiences. KSI's got over 20 million followers. Jake Paul's got 20 million. Other guys, even some of those guys that you see, the lesser guys on it, they've got a couple million and stuff like that. So they know that they can put on something and promote it. All right, it's not a professional fight, but they can promote an event. I remember KSI and them guys, they did a football game one time at Southampton. They invited me down, right? It was the first one they were sort of doing, and they went to Southampton and said to them, we want to hire out the, when, the football season finishes and you can use the pitch and everything like that in the stadium. So they went to Southampton and they said, we want to hire the stadium. And they said to them, well, how much? What's part of, just to play a game? They go, no, we want to hire the whole thing. And they said, well, what are you talking about? How are you going to fill it? They said, we're confident we can fill it. They said, what we'll do is we'll just give you half the stadium, because if we give you the full thing, then we're not going to be able to,
they're going to be running out of
we're going to have to call police to lock off roads and all this and that. They basically just...
rubbished it.
Yeah, so they gave them the half of the stadium and they sold it out in about an hour.
They've got.
And on the day, I remember I was at the game, and it was like the guys from Southampton, like the Southampton officials and that, they were going, who are these guys? What? And I was thinking, well, why didn't you do your research? You would have found out. Then they did a game at Charlton. I think they got another one coming up actually soon, which they've sold it out already. They did another game at Charlton, sold it out. But that game was supposed to have, I remember they were saying to me, they originally were going to do it at Fulham. Yeah. But when they rung up Fulham, again, the people at Fulham were saying to them, well, you lot, how are you going to, They didn't do their research. If you do your research on these guys, they've got massive audiences.
But you know
So
what,
I think
could
that, just to say, right, I think the lesson to learn for some of the boxers, and I mean the fighters themselves, maybe try and build yourself a massive audience. And you may not need some of these promoters. You might be able to promote your own fight.
Like Floyd.
I think
Floyd Mayweather.
The problem that you have though, Robbie, is that goes against not the tradition. I'm not talking about the tradition in terms of like boxing purist stuff, but I'm saying some of these guys, even if you look at like Conor McGregor and some of these guys, traditionally, a lot of these guys that have been successful boxers were like homeless and had nothing. They didn't have money for a phone, a camera, a YouTube channel, nothing. And all they did
It sound like me.
and all they did is run and do press-ups and do drills and do this. And that's why you have some of these really inspiring stories. Maybe they could start the social media stuff, but they would start the social media stuff halfway through the journey. Not necessarily, because you're right, if somebody started a YouTube channel going, right guys, like a fitness journey. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry to cut you, yeah. With boxers at the moment, what boxers get picked up quickly by promoters? Boxers that
the ones
come
with
from
big
the
followers.
can sell tickets.
So
if you're a fighter, sometimes you guys know the drill in this boxing thing. Sometimes you've got a fighter, he's not even all that. He's all right.
Yeah.
But he could, I mean, he's
Like
got
Ricky Hatton's son.
right?
He
could go, right? You could put him on a fight, right? On an undercard here, and he could bring like 5,000 man to the thing. So you get booked all the time. So it's the same principle. It's the same principle as an up and coming fighter. Maybe you have to consider the fact that, listen, it's not just about my boxing skills. Maybe, even if that's not my forte, the YouTube thing or the Instagram thing, maybe I need to get somebody who's going to work with me to build my social media account.
But then we're going to have world champions who aren't real world champions because maybe the real world champion's over there, but he's not good in front of the camera.
I guarantee you.
We already have things.
I guarantee you right now, and I'll say this live here. I guarantee you, at some point, Jake Paul will fight for a version of a world title. I guarantee you. Whether it's vacant, he may lose, but I guarantee he will fight for one.
But let me just say this, right? And Robbie hinted at earlier. Even take what you're doing, what you've done now. You've changed the face of how football is reported in this country.
Facts.
That is facts. And you started off with a camera and a microphone turning up to games. Now, the whole space has changed. And that's why a lot of the media outlets feel threatened by the social media guys. And you look at Sky now, when they want to analyse games and that, they don't have to call up all these different footballers. They can if they want.
Yeah.
They can go to Robbie, Flex, yourself. The whole space has changed.
Yeah.
So social media is very powerful, and that's what these guys are.
But I'm saying the same with these boxers. So a boxer now, if you're a boxer and you're coming up, you're in the gym and you're hitting the gym and you've got talent, maybe before you go running out to go and sign up to a promoter, maybe you might be able to maybe you should figure out, you know what, I've got a bit of charisma. Maybe
if they do.
If they do.
Yeah.
Or maybe sometimes you don't even got to have charisma. You could be just like a rough dude.
But if you look at someone like Joe Joyce, boxing fans can see, you might have noticed it, is that you can see Frank Warren pushing him to be more in front of the camera, and because he's just quite boring and quite dry.
A question.
But he has to do it.
Where do you draw the line? Because you got people like Adrian Broner who they live on social media and they do
That's
so
what's
much.
got so much
after. That was after he was successful. He didn't live on social media before.
I'll give you a better example than him. Somebody who has captured the hearts of social media, has got millions of followers. He signed up to a promoter, but he's still pretty much his own boss. Ryan Garcia.
Facts.
And he's changing the face of boxing. He's actually making it known. Exactly, but he's very, very popular.
Yeah.
And he's able to get fights.
I'll make it.
Even before I see him fight, I saw all these drills.
He's a pretty boy and he's got TikTok. But I'll make a bet with you now that out of the crop of lightweight fighters that are the elite level, he will not be the elite guy.
He'll make the most money,
he's making more money now than
all
those guys.
We're having two different conversations. I'm talking about who's going to go on to be the best boxer of that crop.
No, but that's not what
I'm saying. I'm not saying that, right?
Yeah.
It's that, but it's also what these guys are doing, which is basically these guys are selling out the O2.
Got you. Yeah.
They're selling out the O2. They've got massive audiences. They got massive. Yeah, I mean, so I'm saying that maybe
side, though.
some of these boxers, maybe you have to consider a new strategy now into how using some of what these guys and KSI and these guys have done, using that strategy to try and do maybe in the future.
Yeah.
Maybe one day,
we'll
you might have a fighter.
We'll start seeing that in football, I think.
You might have a fighter that comes up, right? You don't need a promoter. Don't need an Eddie Hearn.
But you know,
don't need. Imagine if you're a fighter, and you've got like say 3, 4, 5 million followers. You might be able to put your own fight on.
Yeah.
You say, yo, you know what? I don't need you, man, to do the fight. I'm going to do my own thing.
That's what KSI did for this. He's made his own company and they've put this on.
I'm going to do my own thing.
That's different though, because KSI already had a platform. But he's saying for somebody starting off, how does somebody do that?
No, but I'm saying, suppose somebody you're starting off and you build up your own following, right? And then you know, like a bit like what that Garcia's done.
Yeah.
And then you say, right, you know what? I'm not fighting on DAZN. I'm not fighting on Sky. I'm not fighting on BT. I'm going to do my own pay-per-view thing.
Freezy's a good example.
Freezy hasn't had his first pro fight yet, but he's known as the British Mike Tyson. He's had clips go viral. He's got brand deals. He's built that persona before having a professional fight.
And Floyd Mayweather as well, who started off with a deal and then worked his way out of his deal and became so big that he could pattern his own deal.
We might have to start considering. But anyway, listen, we're warming up for the KSI fight. It's coming up, his second fight of the night. We've got Cecil in the building as well. Jump in, Cecil. The man who was just bigging, Laurie was just bigging up, saying that
you could be the
with the right amount of training and that you think you can make a.
And if I was in your,
if you could take a punch,
and if I was in your corner,
I said that with your, no, I'm serious.
Yeah.
With your athleticism and your dexterity and your physical gifts, if you did what these guys did, invest your money and trained, you could probably do what these guys do.
I'll take that, you know.
The only thing is,
there's man in the chat, they're offering you out right now.
Oh.
By the way, over 1K watching in the chat, so make sure you hit the like button. I just saw Ty in the building. Could he make a fighter? Think you could, no?
You've been training that. He's been doing some punching with you.
No, but the thing is, you've got a lot of physical gifts that are transferable. There's a lot of athletes.
Even the buffers there doing the thing.
Look at that. Look at that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to say, right? What I'm saying might look far-fetched, yeah. But I'm saying that if I was a boxer, I would seriously be considering. I'd be looking what these guys are doing and say to myself, boy, you know what? Maybe I could sell out the O2 on my own without no Eddie Hearn. Without no,
I don't think it's far-fetched.
It's not. Listen, it's not. It's not obviously not a straightforward thing to do.
How are this?
But you know,
he's a Mexican.
But you know what? What you said is a good point though as well, because a lot of fighters, when they come from the amateurs, and this is a fact, they come to the amateurs with nothing. So they just sign with the person that's offering them the
like
best
rappers,
deal.
Rappers from the ends that just sign that first deal.
They literally just sign the first deal, and people like Bob Arum, Eddie Hearn, they know what to do. Once you've signed that contract, getting out of that contract is almost like it's very difficult to do. So to go on your own is very hard.
Yeah, go on your own.
Sorry, Pineda's coming to the ring.
Rey Mysterio.
I have to say, he don't look too.
Even
with the mask on, he doesn't look confident to me.
He's
KSI's second fight of the night.
If you had a professional record like he's got,
he's actually a professional boxer though.
He is.
If you had a record,
fight Jake Paul.
If you had a record like his, you'd hide your face as well, blood. It's
2-5.
2-5. Lost fight.
2-5.
And 4 by knockout.
I didn't even want the camera on him, blood. There's 4 Chris Gal in the ring, bro.
Did you see the weigh-in? Did you see the weigh-in as well? But he looked shook of KSI. You know, he looked so scared in the weigh-in. So.
Basically, he's come over here for a bag.
He's come for a check.
And I respect it though.
He's probably. I was saying to Nick earlier when we previewed this.
Is that any different to some of the Mexicans we've seen?
Well, yeah, actually.
Here comes KSI.
He's going to earn more tonight than all of these previous fights he's had by probably about
10%, 10 times, 15 times.
Facts. I can't believe KSI.
So you can't blame him.
Prime sponsoring it as well.
Who's sponsoring it?
Prime. His business as
well.
Well.
He's
smart.
There was a guy.
Big up KSI.
Yeah, big him up actually. I got a lot of time.
Yeah, as an entrepreneur, you can't fault him.
There's someone there today.
No, but not just entrepreneur. He's getting in the ring and putting his reputation on the line, isn't it? Every time.
Mind you, it was against Swarmz, who was absolutely terrible.
Is this pay-per-view?
He did actually look good.
Yeah.
Pay-per-view, bro.
Yeah, bro. Robbie's not lying. I think this
pay-per-view
boxers will be
on the zone as well. I bet he does more.
Do you think that will transfer over to football?
Than majority of people that's on the zone.
Because will we get to a point like you see them man, like whether it's the F2 or that young Brazilian youth that does the skills and that. Do you know what I'm saying? Do we get to a point where these youngsters are doing social media and because they look good on social media, they're patterning contracts before they even
There's
play. Like your Xavi Simmons
There's
type
a player
players.
who's been doing, basically he's a TikToker on football.
Yeah.
He's just signed a contract with Dorking Wanderers, who are National League.
I know Dorking Wanderers.
It's the top of non-league, but he's getting, that's like enough to earn a full-time wage for him.
It's happening.
And that's just from being on TikTok.
Example, YouTube football's a prime example.
Even the Sidemen charity match.
I'm saying again to you guys, what is the difference between what KSI is doing and having Eddie Hearn or Frank Warren?
No, but like Nick said to you, you can't just go in boxing because you
professional boxing.
No, hold on, yeah, but you need to sign up with promoters to get, because once a promoter's signed up X amount of fighters, they will only fight for that promoter.
But that's what's wrong with it, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But what I'm saying, you
coming
in the game and say, yeah, I'm going to do it
Go
dolo.
by myself.
You can't, because guys are signed, so you have to work with Eddie Hearn whether you want to or not.
This is a really good
because
point.
he's fighting guys that you
I
need
know,
to
but
fight.
that's maybe they can flip the script on
so
it in the future.
the question I have then is, does it affect the integrity of the sport? Because when we look at somebody, like, maybe we're going back a long way, maybe I'm idealising the sport, but when we're looking at Mike Tyson times or whatever, you're looking at someone and going, this guy is the best 6'2", 210-pound man in the world at knocking man out. There's not anyone that can do it better. Come over here and stand in front of my man.
Okay.
But then we're moving towards, this guy is the best, the most creative TikTok guy that does boxing. He's the best social media brother. He's the best at that.
He might be a good fighter.
But you're saying might. I'm saying, does that affect the integrity of the sport?
Because of the nature of it. I spoke about this last week, and it says because of the nature of boxing, where it's based upon promoters, that's allowed this to be able to happen. Because all you've got, I today and we could turn around and we could promote a fight.
Yeah.
Let me ask
Right,
you
it may not be for a
though.
world title, but we could promote a fight. And if we've got a big enough audience, we could sell a pay-per-view.
So do you think, you think the integrity of boxing is already screwed because of the promoters?
It's screwed because of the promoting thing. Whereas if you look at football, KSI and these guys, they've got a football game coming up. They've got a football game coming up at Charlton, but you've got the Premier League, you've got the proper leagues and proper all these things. So,
and proper formal ranking
their thing will be a one-off game.
So if they were to go by themselves, this is my question, and I guess it will end the entire
By the way,
conversation.
sorry to cut you, KSI coming into the ring.
With Heady One.
Heady One there.
I'm going to make a prediction now. Heady One on the mic will last longer than that Mexican guy.
Start recording it. You man in chat, start recording it.
Yeah, your question, yeah.
You think I'm joking?
Is Robbie, if that's the case then, who does he fight? If I'm coming straight from the amateurs with a social media following, how do I make a fight? Because if I have no promoter, how do I matchmake?
A lot of those
No, but
guys
you
won't
do it
have
on
promoters
YouTube.
as well, though.
Huh?
A lot of the amateur guys, the bums that people will fight early in their career, they don't have promoters either.
You can make your own fight, and you can make your own fight on YouTube.
Yeah, if you have followers.
But if you have followers,
Yeah.
you have to have followers. So
That's the point he's making.
So if, let's say you were to invest in your social media following, and whilst you're doing boxing, it's a gamble to not sign with a mainstream promoter.
It's a gamble,
But
but I
then
can see in the future somebody might do it, because when they look at these guys, what they are doing, selling out the O2,
I think you guys
pay-per-view on the zone.
I think you'll get someone with the confidence that will back themselves to do the promoting for them. If they work it out, they'll back themselves.
guys-
I can tell you
Someone
now,
will work
I
it
can tell
out.
you now, there's a lot of people in boxing right now that's embarrassed at what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Remember that guy we saw the
understand.
other day? Who said to us, right, Laurie, right, that that guy he fought on big fights. He fought for big promoters.
He's a former British and Commonwealth champion.
And he said that he makes more money just training people how to do. He's done all these things, right? And he said, I make more money, right, just training, like these women come to the gyms and that, just boxing on pads and that. He makes more money doing that.
But at the end of the day,
right?
we saw Julius Francis the other day knocking man out at Box Park. If he jumped into one of these YouTube fights, no, but real talk, he was world champion. If he jumped into one of these, he shouldn't be working.
No,
at Box
you're
Park.
right. If he went from that punch to a fight,
But even before
it would go mad.
Julius Francis should actually line up a fight doing something like this on one of these undercards.
Having grown up watching him, I was like, hold on.
More people watch that, right, than watch any of his fights, even the fight that he had against Tyson.
That went wild.
You guys will understand eventually how much money it costs to put on a fight like this. There's no way. KSI has made a lot of money and he's invested a lot of money into this. There's no amateur that's come from the pros.
You start
from York Hall or somewhere small, and then you would build up.
Even their events, they'd won like the copper box, but they've gone small and they've just built up.
They started from a small
time.
thing.
Yeah.
Until they built it now.
You'll be running a lot of your fights at a loss. You'll be running a lot of your fights up front at a loss.
Not necessarily.
But that's what,
I think so.
If you've got a big enough following, people will want you on the event.
Promoters
to promote the event.
Sorry to cut you.
But then you're working with a promoter.
I think what we're all saying is that we're all saying in our own different ways is that social media is so overpowering, so powerful that you can create a career.
For me, boxing contracts are no different to record label contracts. You can sign that first contract if you're smart, you negotiate your contract, and then you work your way out of that contract. So eventually you've got your fans, and you've got what you've got, and then you go.
Sorry, this guy,
he's built like a child.
He looks tiny, man.
I told you.
Man said built like a child, allow it.
In the way he did this, yeah.
Lewis Alcaraz Pineda, he looks like a school kid.
Hey, Pineda.
And he looks frightened.
Listen, these men are disrespecting you. I'm not in it. If you see me on road in London, don't thump me up, bro.
Disrespect you. The way a man did this, he looked like my ankles. This he looked like.
He might thump you up on the roads, no bull. You know what I mean?
I didn't see it. I didn't see Lloyd.
You might say Gabriel Martinelli. You know what I mean? Versus KSI. You know what I mean?
This is a 1 round fight.
Nah, it's going more than 1 round.
If it goes 2 rounds, it's because KSI has said, let me just take it in.
Hey, Laurie, can't we do this, man? Set up camp, man.
That's what I said to him. I goes, if Cecil...
Who in the YouTube scene are you starting? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm too nice to really start it.
If you don't mind damaging your good looks, because you will get hit.
Yeah, cool.
KSI from Watford.
Bring X.
The fighting pride of Watford.
What, more than AJ?
That's naughty. Disrespectful.
That is disrespectful.
AJ.
I'll tell you what, KSI looks in great shape now, doesn't he? Great shape.
Everyone's there.
What is David Hayes?
Thumping his chest, he's getting involved.
This guy is the
definition of I wouldn't mind betting that he's getting paid a lot of money to be there.
100%.
This guy is just a...
Apparently...
I'm sorry, man. That guy's not
I think David Hayes might have been there just
that guy's fighting?
No, he got...
Nah. Oh, wait. Oh, sorry. I thought you think David Hayes got paid to go there?
That's mad.
No, he loves the limelight.
Yeah,
he loves the limelight.
It's Pineda.
Somewhere in Mexico.
You know what that does? That having David Hayes there sort of...
Trying to get in...
Right, all right, guys. Listen, first round's about to go. Here they go. It's KSI Pineda there.
He's got in 30
saying
seconds.
some prayers. He might need it.
He's got in 30 seconds.
No.
KSI versus Pineda. He looks like a little kid.
Ty versus Little Man.
25
I saw that in the
seconds.
comments.
Ty versus Pineda.
But what are you saying? Do you think
Little Man would kill
win? Rob, if he was in this fight, do you think he'll win?
KSI will win this fight. I think 66%.
That's what it says on the comments.
Let's see
I've gone for KSI. We're already going in.
1 round.
Raw.
I love saying that.
Good body shot. He's hurt. The body shot hurt him. He's down.
What did I tell you?
He's down. He's trying to claim he got hit behind the head, but he didn't.
I don't think
he's already down.
I don't think that's a knockdown.
There's many men and the side men in the crowd.
Anyone's tune would last longer.
He's already down.
I don't know if that was a knockdown personally.
What's a knockdown?
The only way it would last less
KSI is getting warning for hitting behind the head, but I thought it was a body shot.
How can you call it as a knockdown and...
No, but
That was a body shot.
Is it?
Look how this guy's
He's
stood
gone
up.
straight to the body.
He's a boxer.
No, this is not...
McLove, man said McLove.
Oh, he's down again. He's trying to claim he's got hit behind the
I
head.
know he is on research, but this is ridiculous.
He's getting a
KSI
count.
is more of a pro boxer.
He's getting a count. He's trying to claim he got hit behind the head. How did he get hit behind the head? You got hit on the head. Oh, KSI moving in for the kill.
He tried to propose to him. What's going on, bro?
Guy looks dead.
Who is this guy, man? Get him out of here.
Bro,
Can we explain what's happening here? Because this is
I want to
Light work, KSI again.
this is embarrassing. Can you imagine paying for this?
Pineda hasn't thrown a punch.
I was going to say, Pineda hasn't thrown a punch yet.
He's supposed to be the boxer. Oh, just missed him there. Oh, good uppercut there. Just missed by KSI. Oh, he goes. That one did. That one did hit behind the head.
Swarmz or this guy? What's worse?
Swarmz is worse.
I'd back Swarmz for this fight.
I would bet you £50
Swarmz
that Swarmz fight was the worst fighting performance you've ever seen, including Man on the Roads.
2, but it shouldn't have.
Body shot again.
Swarmz could throw one of those wild arms and just
Now
hit
he's
this guy
complaining
and
But
then-
this guy won. He's won a fight before.
But the
Man, just chat to the ref,
guys
bro.
he's fought, the guys he's beaten have never won. They've just lost as well.
I would never want to see that fight.
He won a fight against illness or something, bro. There's no way he won an actual professional
Who
fight.
did he
This is
win?
crazy.
Beat two.
That's what I want to
No one you've ever
know.
heard of, bro.
Even he's complaining about getting hit beyond the
All
head.
he does is
He's
moan, bro. He's the Wilfred Zaha of boxing, bro.
Yeah.
No cap.
The last fight he won was
again, he picked
2017.
up another punch.
Has he thrown? Is he
He's not thrown one punch
He's
yet.
throwing
All
like a
he's
big
done is
push. Yeah, he's like
He's not a fighter.
he's
This
trying
guy's
to
not a
push
fighter.
him, but
He's
he
not a
can't.
fighter.
Nah, it's peak.
Man, his dancer.
He's got too much of a slip.
Body shot. Stop moaning.
He's touching his back.
If I hit a few thousand subs, we're doing this and making some bread.
God.
bro.
I wanna fight this guy.
We'll stage it.
Robbie, line something up.
I want to
stage
fight
it.
this guy.
He's taking a knee. He's taking a knee
now. He's moaning about
KSI's, for anyone that's at
the
home,
back of his head.
KSI's nowhere near him. He's just taking a knee so he can
The
moan to the ref.
referee's telling him to shut up. What is wrong with this guy?
He'll lose a point for that.
He's putting his hands up there. KSI's trying to go round the glove, so he's claiming he got hit on the back of the head.
No, but he's turning himself sideways on.
Yeah, he's turning
It's a
sideways.
legitimate punch.
And then he's touching his back.
He was trained by Swarmz.
You got smashed.
Bro, they were in the same training camp. I tell you that for free.
Is he? So this guy's a professional boxer?
No, he's not.
He's
That's
got
a lie.
2 wins and
That's
5
a
losses.
lie.
Mysterio mask and.
I don't know
lie.
where they found that guy. I told you when he walked in, even behind the Mysterio mask, he looked scared.
Yes.
What I want to
He's
know
got more
is,
L's than Man United this season.
what I want to know is who are the 2 guys that he beat?
Talk Trend says.
asked.
Talk Trend says Pineda's last win was in 2017.
And it was at what?
And who was that against?
He must have
I've
only
punched
been
that man more
18
recently than
then.
that. It's Pete.
He's 23 now.
Yeah.
See,
he
next
must
time,
be-
this is going too far when you try and pick a dead body.
How is this the main event? Says MM.
Every fight that I've watched.
But you
on
saying the
this
Swarmz
land
on?
was better.
What was wrong with that? That was a good shot.
That was the first second
The
of the
Deji
fight.
fight was better than this, and the Slim fight was better than this.
I still
Deji
think.
would mash up this guy.
I think in a boxing match, Pineda would still beat Swarmz.
That's a good question.
Swarmz. He was that bad.
100%. 100%.
He probably knew that.
100%.
That was a good body shot he got there. Look.
Pineda or Swarmz? Who you taking?
I'd go Swarmz with a lucky
good
hit.
shot.
A lucky hit.
Laurie, what do you reckon? Pineda or Swarmz?
He
Who
was
wins?
Pineda.
What do you reckon?
I
goes
don't
down.
know. I'm going no contest.
Please,
No
please
contest.
tell me that Pineda weren't better than Swarmz.
Bro,
Second round
it
he
was
was down.
embarrassing.
Embarrassing.
No
He
contest.
was like,
No
I could get
contest.
up.
That's what
I
I'm
could stay
going
down.
for.
I'm going to stay down.
At least Pineda hasn't
check and
turned his
go.
back.
But he's taking a knee for punches that didn't even land below the belt.
Yeah, he's sacrificed.
Look how
He doesn't hold his guard. Like,
look how he stands up.
It's like the first time he's ever been in
He's
this ring
scared.
before. He's not the. He looks like the YouTuber.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. Yeah.
In the build-up, KSI was bigging this guy up. I've seen his footage. He looks like a hard hit.
Of course he's
yeah.
going to say that. Of course he's going to say that. He has to say that.
Why is
Excellent movement from the ref there.
this is comical.
Fantastic.
Yo, KSI, knock this guy out.
You've got to get the
Yeah.
knockout.
If KSI connects with him one time in a clean
Knock
punch,
this
it's
guy
over.
out, KSI.
It's
I
over.
command people to
One
go
thing
and
I
watch the
will say
highlights of
though,
this
let's
fight.
keep
If
it real
KSI
though.
does this on points,
This
he's gonna
guy's
get
got
clowned.
some good
Watch the
footwork. This
highlights.
guy's ran the whole fight.
He ain't thrown a punch yet. I don't think he's thrown a punch.
I'd
Pineda.
love to see his highlights, Pineda, because boy.
How's he
They're
supposed to?
right, they're
How's he
public.
expected
His
to win?
highlights
then?
must be in his
Pineda?
hair, blood. They ain't in the boxing ring. It's Pete.
I'm just thinking, what's his mindset?
Run. If he lasts his 3 rounds with KSI, I'll be upset still. I'm not even going to cap.
KSI will get clowned if this
I
goes
think
to decision.
KSI's going for the. He's trying to go for.
Yeah,
the
he's going for
for the
big
money
knockout,
shot.
For
He
sure.
just goes to the
Yeah, I don't
body
blame him.
and just not get him out of there, man.
I don't blame him.
If
God's
you
got
land
you.
anything clean on this dude, he's out.
That's
Body
sorry
shot.
for the shoot.
Oh, and he knocked him
yeah,
down
he's
with
knocked
that.
him down.
And
The
that
thing
wasn't even a big shot, and he's down.
But he's
doesn't
smart.
want
He's
it.
taking the knee though.
He's
don't
taking a
he
knee.
don't
He don't even
fancy
look
it.
like he wants to get up.
He
He's
looks like
up.
he's going to start crying.
He's up. He's hurt.
I feel sorry for the shoot.
He
I
don't.
don't feel sorry for him. I don't feel
I
sorry
don't
for
feel
him.
sorry for him.
Knock
He's
him
getting
out, man.
paid, bro.
The man's going to buy a yard when he gets back to Mexico.
Knock him out, man. Knock him out, man. You know what I mean? He's coming here with the joke thing.
Literally, knock him
You know what I
out.
mean? Take boxing for foolishness.
Literally.
So I
My
said
man's
earlier, you don't play
whining in the
boxing.
ring as well. I don't know
Don't
what
play
he's doing.
boxing.
I
Disrespect
do
boxing.
agree with Shane. At least he's nimble on his feet, though. I'll give him that.
Right, he's nimble on
Yeah,
his
he's
feet.
running.
Because he has to be.
Maybe
Yeah,
should
but
go
Swarmz weren't even that.
go and do 400
That's what I'm
meters.
saying.
Swarmz' response was to turn his back.
Justin Gatlin. He's just running,
Oh,
running.
surely
circles.
KSI could have found someone a bit more challenging that he could afford.
He's
Bro.
going to take it slow, bro.
He could have
He's
fought
gonna
his
take it nice
brother and it
and
would have
slow,
been
bro.
better. He could have fought his
Oh, another big shot. Rocked
Finish
him.
him.
He's rocked.
Oh, that's a
every
good
punch.
shot by KSI and he's down.
Ref just waved this
Pineda's
fight.
down.
To be fair,
Ref waved this fight.
He's down. He looks like he's crying.
He's doing press ups.
KSI's there doing
KSI doing press ups. Oh my
press
god.
ups in the other
Oh
ring.
my god.
He's taking the absolute.
I've never seen
mick.
anything like it, bruv. Nah, bruv. Nah, that's a bio. That's a bio, bro.
Taking the mick.
Boxing enthusiasts must be going mad.
That's a bio.
I don't. Laurie inside is
I don't
dying
even
right
care.
now.
Viewers must be.
Alright, look, Chris Eubank's getting ideas. He's
Oh,
getting
look at
ideas.
that. Again, he's complaining
I
about
want to know
getting
where
hit
they
by the back
found
of the
this
head.
guy. I'm not even going to lie.
Let's fuck them as well.
And I think the referee's going to wave it off, has he? No. Even the referee wants him to get
Hey,
more
Chris
licks.
Eubank's going to try and fight this guy
Laurie's
next.
fuming.
Is there a free knockdown master? This
Look at that body shot.
Not even between rounds, G. During the round.
The ref should stop it.
If one of those connect.
How's this guy a boxer? I'm sorry.
He's not. Stop saying that. I'm not even realised.
Oh, he got hit there. I don't know if that was a hit or push. I don't know what that was.
He's made it to the end of the round. I don't know how.
Laurie, you could go to All Stars and pick up any man from All Stars and thump him up.
Also, I could go to the pub around the corner.
Omar says KSI spent more energy during his performance than this fight. Yeah. Although Pineda took the fight on very short notice, fair play to JJ to sell a remix.
You know what's so crazy to me? He's fought 2 people, and he might as well have not even fought. Like, it might as well have not even fought.
Banana Man says this is embarrassing.
It is embarrassing.
I know that KSI's
getting licked up, says Chibudi.
Who paid for this? That's what I want to know. Who paid for this?
Yeah. Even though KSI's handpicked him, I don't know how they found this guy in Mexico that hasn't fought for 5 years, and they've gone, yeah, he's the one. What's the connection to this guy?
Let me tell you something about Mexico, right? There's a guy at my, and this is a true story. There's a guy.
He does this jumping press up.
There's a guy at my gym, right? He's in his, I think he's in his early 40s. He can't get a license to fight here. And what he does every year.
Down again. Down again.
The third round's just started. The tiniest bit of contact, and he just falls over.
Just down again.
That's what I'm saying. Wave it off.
KSI is getting frustrated. It's like, bro, you've picked this opponent. Like, come on, bro. Don't
I agree, bro.
Facts, bro. Like,
facts, bro. You picked this guy,
bro. Like, you can't get frustrated.
He's not thrown one punch, this guy.
Here we go. He starts the jab 2 minutes before the end of the fight.
KSI versus Wilder's brother. That would be a good fight. KSI versus Wilder's brother. The one that keeps getting already.
Oh, he got done by a...
Wave.
No, and he's holding the back of his head. And he's turned his back. The referee should call this off now.
Yeah, revoke my man's visa, bro. That's a joke.
The referee has called it off. The referee has called it off, and that is it. The fight is over. KSI has won.
Man got punched straight in his face and said back of the head.
Man said, nah, this is a joke.
I've never seen anything like it.
The thing is, KSI can't go from this to Jake Paul now, so he's now got to have someone else. He's got to get a pro boxer that can actually fight. Just to buffer it on the way.
Tink says you've got to appreciate that both fighters took this on short notice. Listen,
short notice.
Yo, Tinks, I could have took this the day before and done better. I could have got a phone call tonight. I could have got a phone call tonight and done better than that Pineda.
Me and you could go outside and fight right now. We'll be better than
Easy.
100%. 100%.
I'd fight 6 Pinedos in one night.
See, let me tell you,
It's no Pineda, you know. Pineda is like
It's a joke
He's crap.
It's a joke to
Made it sound like a
No, that's embarrassing.
No, boy.
I've had tougher fights than my little brother, no banter.
Honestly, man.
Man got uppercut in his nose and scratched the back of his head.
But how do you feel happy as KSI? You can't feel
Deji
happy
there,
as KSI after a win like that.
He was arguing
feel
about
happy after a
Southland
win
as
like
well.
Sideman,
He's got to do that though, innit? He's got
You can't feel.
He's acting.
You ain't won nothing.
He's acting.
Reds 2308 says both Swarmz and this bum are no fighters.
Yeah, he's definitely a bum. They're both bums for sure, bro.
There.
What you're seeing there is
make the
just
Stallion
acting
video.
with him and his.
Why is KSI even excited? He beat.
No, but he's not. He's
No. His head. All he can hear is cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching,
enough.
cha-ching. That's
He's
it, bro.
putting on a show. That's all.
He knows that all he needed was to beat a pro
doesn't
boxer
really
to have that
think
over
he's
Jake
done
Paul. It doesn't matter who it was.
No.
This was just, I'm going to get that thing over Jake Paul. But I think he might be a little bit disappointed. He didn't have a bit more.
That's not easy to do.
True, Jordy. He's loving it, innit? Oh my days. That's what I'm saying. In the ring. In the ring.
Hey, let me ask you a question. If they called you up tomorrow, Robbie, to do some announcing for one of these fights, would you do it?
Of course I'll do it. If they call me up to fight that Pineda, I'll do it tomorrow. Now I go. If they call me up right now and they say,
100 bags, you take it. Yeah?
Robbie. You'll be here in half an hour, Pineda. I'm like, yeah, I'm coming.
I just want to hear how you pronounce the names. I think that alone would be.
Same way, we go like this one, right?
I go right now, man. That's a
behind
bum.
the head. I don't understand that.
Like, what you saying? Would you show
He kept coming about behind the head. He's right.
2 weeks of me on the pads and some
He
basic
got,
level fitness.
he got hit with an uppercut and then he's complaining
Bro,
about
you
it.
don't need to. You don't need.
Sorry, we're back. We lost a bit of audio there. As KSI is being announced as the winner, hands held up. For the purest boxing guys here, I can see you guys looking at this with disdain.
I'm not even that
More than
emotional.
disdain, contempt.
No, I'm not even that emotional.
I'm an entertainment man. I actually like entertainment. I understand. I like.
You
No,
understand.
but you can't
But
find
this,
that.
no,
That's
but
not
no, I'm
competitive,
going to
though.
say, but this is
Nonsense.
not okay, man.
It was funny to watch, but it's not a proper
The
fight.
the two fights you
that
watched,
suit.
the two fights you watched before, I
What's
actually
that,
didn't
Ted
mind it.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it Ted Baker?
This was just disgraceful.
His two fights were by far the worst ones on the
The
card.
last fight was good. The
Yeah,
slim,
and Deji's
slim.
fight
And
was
I
good
missed
as
the
well.
Deji, man.
And Deji's fight was
You know what? The card was good, but both his fights were subpar.
But that's kind of exactly what KSI would want, though. He'd want the rest to be good, and then he can just do his job and
But
get
at
out
least
there.
with
So this is
Swarmz,
perfect for
right,
him.
there's a semblance of an excuse because
He's
he's
never
never
fought
boxed
before.
before. This guy's supposed to be a professional fighter.
I'm not sure that is even.
I
an
don't
excuse.
believe that.
I don't buy that excuse because you know you're walking into the ring for a
I
fight.
know, but at least he could say, I've never done this before. This man's supposed to be a professional fighter.
I think they doctored that box trick. I don't think he's had any fights. It's a lie. He's
part of the
never had a
boxing-
fight before.
There is no footage. Who's he calling out? He's calling out someone.
Who's he calling out?
Oh my god! Oh
But the
my
thing
calling
is,
out
god!
Andrew Tate.
And Tommy
Tommy-
Fury.
Did I tell you? Wait, Laurie,
on a
Laurie, did
serious
I not
note,
say
yeah?
to you earlier that they're going to call out Tommy Fury? That's going to because I said they're going to
I
want
thought you
somebody.
said Andrew Tate.
And Don Robbie, they say.
He said, but do you know what I mean? Like they're going to want someone that is like got a bit of credibility, but
I'd like
not
to see
so
Andrew
good.
Tate in it.
But they're going to watch
Tommy
this and
Fury.
think this
You
is
know,
a
you know why I
joke,
say
know?
that? Because Andrew Tate is actually a world champion kickboxer.
Yeah.
So he does have
all right.
skills, combat skills.
But they're going to watch this and think it's some sort of joke and some edict.
I know, but I would watch
Andrew
Andrew
Tate
Tate
would take
versus.
it. That'd be a good fight.
Tommy
And Andrew
Fury,
Tate, how old is Andrew Tate? 30?
he's in his 30s.
A bit more than that, I think.
Tommy Fury, though, he wants to be a world champion, so he can't be fighting these
Nah,
guys.
Yeah,
I mean, he
I-
wanted to fight.
Tommy Fury's been
does
targeting for
not.
Jake Paul.
Tommy
He will
Fury
take-
would
he will
beat
take it.
KSI.
Tommy Fury does not want to be a world champion.
Tommy Fury will
He
go for
said
this
that.
I don't care what he said, bruv. Look how man
Wouldn't
moves.
have to
Man
go
can
to
say
America
anything.
for this one, innit? They'd fight it right here. Wouldn't be able to use that as an excuse.
That's what I'm saying.
I want to see KSI versus Andrew Tate.
That'd be interesting.
Do you think Tommy Fury will ever be a world champion in
Oh,
boxing?
hell
Of course
Thank
not.
you.
I said he wants to be.
But we all want things. I want Cameron Diaz. Like, what are you going to do? Like, we all
he
want
knows
things.
deep
Like,
down that he's not good enough to get there. And I think while he's been entertaining the Jake Paul stuff,
Listen,
he kind
let
of
me tell
knows
you
if I can get the
something,
bag,
right?
I'll take
Listen,
it.
I
If you've
agree.
got-
Get these belts.
If you've got
I agree.
KSI
No,
and Jake Paul
Those
lined
are made up
up,
belts.
that's
He
your
wouldn't
payday.
even win what they call an area title. I'm telling you that now.
Who's?
KSI. He would not even win an area title.
Even at one.
depends what area. That matter from what.
No, it don't matter where. He would not win an area title.
Even if he was
But
fighting
if
at
you're
five
telling
weight
me-
class above.
Him versus Andrew Tate, I say, yeah, I'll watch that.
Yeah.
Because Andrew Tate is a former world champion kickboxer, so he's done boxing. And he's got the personality that would sell the fight. And I think that'd be a great fight. But forget about...
I think he'll take it, you know.
But Tommy Fury's only fought bums.
I'm not
so
sure
far.
Andrew Tate would take it.
No, I
though. He
think
don't
he
need
would.
the money.
I think, yeah, but I think he would. Bro.
Neither does KSI need the money.
Yeah, but he's already on his journey. Andrew Tate's already achieved. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Versus
Andrew
Andrew
Tate-
Tate loves the clout, let's be real.
Yeah,
He
I
loves
I
it.
don't think
Let's
Tate
be
because
real,
Tate
man. He
can't
loves
really
it.
get out of Romania. If
He
he
would
leaves
take clout
Romania,
more
it's got to
than
be on the
money.
slide because of all his alleged criminal stuff. So I don't think he.
Didn't he come to the UK?
Yeah, but he does it like on the sly, and then he'll disappear before you can like get to him.
Watford
so
v
you
Luton,
can't have
you
like
know,
I don't
it'd
think
be
you
like
can do
an
a big
FA Cup
event like
game.
this because then you just get swarmed.
I hear you.
Not fun.
Andrew Tate versus KSI would be an absolute blockbuster.
Yeah, I can't lie, no.
Don't you think?
I think a lot of people would watch it.
I'd watch it.
I'd watch it.
That would sell out Wembley.
But
That's
James
selling out
needs to
Wembley.
fight some real people before he goes to Andrew.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying about stay in your lane. Forget about professionals, this nonsense. If you're telling me KSI versus Andrew Tate, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'll watch that.
Because they're both building a persona like
Yeah,
Floyd.
they're both social media
They're both
guys.
building a persona like Floyd that people would want. Some people would
Yeah.
want to see them lose.
Yeah.
Lots of people don't like Andrew Tate, and lots of people don't like KSI, and they would
Yeah.
tune in to watch the guy they dislike lose
what about-
more than watch the guy they like win. Do you know what I mean? That's what boxing's become.
YouTube boxing's in a weird place now where the crappy little events are starting to die out and people realise they're not all that. People aren't getting paid. Let's not get involved. But the big ones like this, I think they've got a future where they can carry on. Especially now they've partnered with the Zone for this
Zone.
X series.
Mad.
There's going to be multiple events.
That's
And
another.
Well,
by
I'll
proper
be honest
people.
with you
Yard
now,
back there.
right? I'll be honest with you now. Tommy Fury would annihilate this guy.
Annihilate
I
is
don't
so
know, you know.
strong. I'm not
Annihilate
sure
is
I
a
agree with
heavy
you.
word still.
I'm not sure I agree
I
with you.
haven't
I
seen
really
anything
don't.
from
Tommy
Fury.
Fury's only fought bums as well.
I really don't rate Tommy Fury.
I would pick Tommy Fury to lose to Jake Paul though.
Tommy Fury
Maybe
is one of
Jake
those
Paul.
fighters
Jake
we've
Paul,
mentioned
Jake
where his
Paul.
personality.
KSI would not beat Tommy Fury.
I think it'd be a
And
competitive
I don't
fight.
even like the Furies.
I think it'll be competitive as well.
Yeah. I think it will.
I don't think it will.
Tommy Fury's done what we've said, Ways. He's had the name. The Fury name's been a boost. Then he's built the persona to carry him to where he is. He's become like a household name without being good at boxing.
Exactly. He had the clear route. He had the clear route, exactly like you said. He had the clear route, and he chose. No. I'm not. What I'm saying is facts. He had a clear route to go through and have a smooth sailing boxing path with the family that he's from, and he chose to go into Love Island and eat unseasoned food. That was a choice. So for me,
he's not very good.
Huh?
He's not very good.
That's what I'm saying.
And he knows it.
Of course.
But what I'm saying, he's good enough to beat KSI.
Not annihilate though. Not annihilate. I think it'd be competitive.
He'd beat him easy.
Your argument's already crumbling. This is the problem. Your argument's already. You don't even look sure.
He probably would knock him out.
You look like Pineda with your arguments.
Into this sort of
when you go home,
I think
he's
so.
fine. He's twerking.
You have to understand. Tommy Fury's been doing this his whole life. He's had an amateur career. He's now turned pro. He's been doing it way. He will beat KSI.
I know man that's been kicking ball for 25 years and they're whack.
But you know what? It's a good point. You know why?
So what you're doing now? You're seeing KSI against two absolute bums.
No.
And you're saying he beat Tommy Fury.
No, I'm watching Tommy Fury against bums and saying he's dead food.
No, but you know what?
No, it's a different level of
Tommy Fury, who was the guy who fought that was a lot smaller, hadn't had a pro fight, and he still struggled.
No, but one thing Tommy Fury.
Don't be fooled.
One thing with Tommy Fury though, he's been in certain situations in amateurs and pros that these YouTube fighters have never been in before. Like
don't be fooled, bro. Tommy Fury would beat him.
If he gets hit with a shot, Tommy Fury knows what to do. If he gets tired, he knows what to do. KSI and those guys, they don't.
Let me qualify, but I don't even like the Fury. My brother will tell you, I'm not a fan of the Furies the way they conduct themselves, but I'm just keeping it real. He would not beat Tommy Fury, not in a month for Sundays. He'd get stopped.
All I know is after this fight, Pineda is a verb, bro. Man are getting Pineda'd, bro. That's you know what I'm saying? Like this a verb from now on, bro. Real talk.
Peter Bissett said the Mexican threw less punches than Audley versus Hay.
Oh my God.
I'm not even going to lie though.
Man got the boogers punched out of his nose. Remember that? That was crazy.
Now listen, put some respect on Audley's name. He was an Olympic champion.
They don't give those some people's names, blood. Like, come on.
Put some respect on KSI's name.
I hear it.
You go in the Olympics and win a gold medal.
Mallory, the one thing you said before, you said that whatever happens in this fight, Pineda's career is going on the up now. Do you take it back? Yeah.
I said he'd make more money from this fight than all his previous fights.
And you mentioned that he'll keep going on. Do you think he's just going to stop now?
No, he's done. I tend to believe what Shane said, which is somebody looks like they've manufactured his record on boxing.
Bro, they've manufactured.
Because that does happen as well.
The thing is, there are no public videos of his fight. I've tried to find them. There's nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
KSI says he's seen them, and they're probably somewhere, but publicly you can't find them.
Before Robbie had to interrupt me because and this is true. There's a guy that I train with at one of the gyms I go to, right? He's in his 40s, he loves boxing, he trains himself, and he goes over to Mexico once a year and he has fights over there. He cannot get a license in this country, but he can go over to Mexico, so that's why guys like Pineda have got a boxing license.
But this guy was suspended, I'm not sure what for, but the Ontario Athletic Commission had suspended this guy.
Pineda?
Yeah.
Probably for lack of throwing punches.
Where did you see that?
It's on his box rec.
When you look at box rec, you have to be, because a lot of it's, when it says, it's suspended, that just means that they haven't signed up to the commission for that year. That's basically it. A lot of people are suspended in certain commissions. That's purely because
should be suspended worldwide.
They have to sign up to the commission. So
I confidently say I'll beat that guy.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah, I'm confident
Pineda,
as well.
Rubbish.
In first round or what?
And I have to say,
he might take you all the way, Robbie.
If you can't beat Pineda, your youths won't have any respect for you in the house, bro. It's a joke.
Honestly, he's rubbish.
And that man there
and that's embarrassing that KSI has beaten two men up like that in one night.
You see that man there, who I used to have a lot of time for, this is the route he's going down in his career as well.
100%.
Chris Eubank Jr.
Man's got more abs than wins.
Right? So it's not an irony that he's doing that stuff because he's trying to turn his boxing career into what they're doing.
Ade's there as well.
Is that a bad thing? Because
he'll be fighting with
he couldn't beat a man with one arm.
Don't be surprised if he fights KSI in a few years' time.
Bro, Chris Eubank Jr. couldn't finish a guy who had one arm. That's all I know, bro.
The thing is, if that's where the money is, can you knock it?
Becoming a joke.
I can't say that, man. This guy's still got a good fighter.
It's light skin tax, bro. I'm saying he's got a tight on hairline and some abs, bro. He's light skin. That's all it is.
Eubank is still a good fighter.
Nah, Eubank's a bum.
Did he not just beat a legitimate world contender?
What's he done after that? Calling out Kell Brook, a 35-year-old welterweight that's retired.
True. That's true.
So do you think if he had any semblance of ambition, he would be calling out?
Just because you don't have ambition don't mean you don't have skills.
Yeah, but what we're saying, what me and Nick are saying, that he's not going anywhere. He's given up on himself.
Yeah.
He's playing poker, right? And he's doing this to make money.
I don't mind what he does, but don't be coming talking about I've got the warrior spirit and blah blah. Don't do all that. You're from Brighton. Allow it, bro.
He says Robbie, even Ty would beat Pineda.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact.
No, you would, Ty.
Ty's winning
genuinely
that
think he
fight.
would.
Ty's in the building.
That's not disrespect,
Bro, Ty's winning that fight.
Bro,
Ty is 100% winning that fight.
Ty,
I
you would
don't
beat
know
Pineda.
about Ty,
money on
but
that as
Cecil
well.
definitely would.
I think Ty would beat him.
I don't think so.
That is a Ty. Laurie is disrespecting your
No.
It's gonna be Ty and Laurie on the undercard, bro. It's peak.
Ty's a big man. You don't need that. But Cecil, I'm telling you now, let's do it. Let's get in the gym. I'll reach out to KSI.
We'll set up.
Robbie can be the promoter.
Come, let's do it.
We want Pineda next. For
No,
Cecil.
you want KSI next.
He has to train up.
Nah, you KSI would beat him.
KSI.
Yeah.
Anyway, listen, just before we wrap up, right, they're just previewing a real fight that's coming up, which is Eubanks Jr. versus
It's like this.
Eubanks Jr.
Behave yourself.
versus Benn. Benn Jr., should I say, more or less. A throwback to the times when their dads fought. Let me just quickly go through the room. Who's going to win?
Well, you know what it is. They're seeking to weight drain Eubank. So he's having to weight drain, and we don't know what the rehydration.
No, it's 5 pounds on the same day. He has to weigh in 5 pounds heavier on the same day. So he's going to weigh in the exact same day, and he can only be 5 pounds heavier than his weight.
I'm going for Conor Benn.
I do not know, but I have to go Eubank.
Conor Benn's a better boxer. Eubank's got size. Depends on the weight drain.
Conor Benn is not the better boxer.
Conor Benn's a better
myth.
boxer than Chris Eubank.
That is a myth. That is a straight lie.
Definitely. I'll go Conor Benn.
Chris Eubank. I think I've seen a video of him training. I don't even
Yeah, but
guess why
it's
montages
the weight,
and all that,
though.
but
It's the weight.
yeah, but listen, I like
I
him.
saw a video of Pineda. He looked good as well.
He definitely did. No, he did not.
No, I don't think.
No, you,
I don't think
It's on a floppy disk.
He did not see that.
I don't know what video you watched, man.
Swarmz looked good
video
on the
was that?
back.
That's a catfish. Catfish.
But no, Eubank for me. But yeah,
KSI smokes them both.
Oh my God.
Oh my god. Oh,
I want to say
YouTube
as well
boxing
in
advocate.
closing, Robbie, that, and I'm being honest now, Pineda is the worst professional fighter I've ever seen in my life.
I can.
And I've been.
that.
I am in my 60s now, and I've been watching boxing now. I reckon for
50 years.
plus.
I
I used to
agree.
watch it with my dad, and I've never seen a worse fighter than him.
I agree, and I still think he beat Swarmz. But
I feel like
No, but Swarmz is not a professional boxer.
I know. I'm just.
you could get Deji fighting him just to have that one pro box on his
Bro,
record. And
That
then
guy will
both
never get a
brothers do
fight
it.
again, never.
He is the
Not
worst
over him.
professional I've ever seen.
I hope this check was big, because he ain't getting no more.
I think it's threatening boxing commissions if they allow this guy to keep fighting. Genuinely.
But you.
Apparently his payday wasn't that big for this either. It was more of a. I think they kind of sold
Kind of
it as
promotional.
we'll give you promotions.
Exposure.
So obviously he got paid for it, but not what you'd expect.
Probably-
Compared to
Man got
KSI,
exposed
it would be
as an
nothing.
idiot.
You know what it is as well? He probably got money under the table to come in.
But maybe
It better have been a lot,
They'll be
boy.
taking it back
It better have
after
been a
that.
lot, boy. I'll tell you that.
I wouldn't even have paid his flight.
He was on the he was on the floor looking for that piece under the table.
They want a refund. Them kind of money you got to pay after they fight. Depending on the performance.
Yeah,
Man
10
came
bags
in
around
and
him,
a mask
that.
over his face, still looks scared.
That's mad.
Listen, guys, I want to thank you all for coming here today. Thank all of you guys. It is over. The result is KSI has done what he said he was going to do.
Pineda.
He knew that he could beat both of them. They're both rubbish. He could beat both of them on the same night, and he did that. He beat
Listen, he
both of
could
them
fight 10
on
of
the
those
same
in
night.
one night.
Slim won the other fight, and Deji won his fight as well. Mr. Deji won, but these guys said that it was very
Impressive.
very
He was
impressive.
the best. He was
Best
the most
fighter
impressive
in the
fighter
night.
on the night.
Facts.
Well done to him. But yeah.
You know how Robbie looks? Robbie looked like he just finished food and he's like, there's no food left. I want more.
That last fight was so bad.
Yeah,
That
it
was
was.
so bad, man. I mean, jeez.
But this is
Yeah.
the future of boxing.
Nah, that's
future of
no,
boxing.
it's-
If Robbie had it his way, this would be the
Listen, big
future of
up
boxing.
KSI, man. I know KSI.
Yeah, big
He's a
up
very
to him.
smart guy. And you know what? Anyone who gets into the ring and does what, it takes, whether we saw him beat up the guy in next to no time, or you can see the shape he's in. He's been training for months. He's put the work in. He said he beat both of them on the same night. He done it.
He put the work in. He gave
Fair
the
play
guy
to
a
him.
check.
Big up to Deji as well. Right. But yeah, that's the fight over. We look forward to we're going to be doing the Conor Benn and Eubank fight. So let's
gonna
have
be a
you
big
guys
fight.
back.
Yeah.
That's a big fight.
When is that
There'll
scheduled?
be no,
October 8th.
there'll be no Pinedos in that
Is
fight.
there any big fights going on?
Canelo Golovkin.
Yeah, let's do Canelo.
Yeah,
Golovkin.
you know what? Funny enough, I was over in Turkey and I met some guy from Kazakhstan,
Okay.
and he said, "I'm from Kazakhstan." He goes, "You know Triple G, yeah, Triple G." I go, "Yeah, he's fighting soon." And the guy was telling me that, like, in Kazakhstan, like, he's like the president,
Yeah, I
Wow.
can imagine.
more or less. You know what I mean?
But they got another very good fighter
So-
from Kazakhstan. Watch out for him. His name's called Almadel Yanibek.
Yanibek on middle.
Very
middleweight.
good fight.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the reasons why Chris Eubank Jr., by the way, is calling out welterweights because he don't want to fight guys like that.
Yeah, well, Triple G,
Yanibek's called him out several times.
the Triple G fight, and I was seeing the other day that Canelo says he can't stand
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
there's a
Golovkin.
bitter.
Yeah.
rivalry
But you know what
there.
that is? That is more on Canelo's side than it
Than
is on
Golovkin.
Golovkin. Because Golovkin's not really that type of guy. I don't know what he's done to get under his skin. so
Yeah. Anyway, listen, guys. So thanks very much for watching the stream. There was loads of you on it. We really appreciate it. Don't forget to check out all of our content over this weekend. We've got all the big football games, of course, here on DR Sports. But it has ended as KSI called it. He beat two bums in one night. Good night.